Hi everyone, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. So today Greg is actually home, so we thought we'd
I'm home for the day. I took some vacation, so I'm home, so we can do a happy hour for the first time in ages.
And we have lots of you joining us. We have Helen and Janet and Donna, Georgianne, Christy, who else we got? Annette is here. So lots of people joining us, lots of people joining us on Facebook as well. So let us know who you are, where you're joining us from. We are going to be playing around with alcohol inks. Greg always says to me, what are you creating with them? So he's wanting me to pick something. So I picked alcohol inks. I said, well,
Did I get to choose my own colours?
You said, I asked you to come in the room and pick colours, and you were like, red. So I just picked every red I had.
That works.
So that's what we got.
I've got a pink one.
Well, because I just kind of grabbed that end of the shelf. So that's what you got. And I picked blues and purples. So that's what we have. Okay. So with alcohol inks, you want to use either a non-porous paper like Yupo, which is your shiny one at the bottom there. I think the kids are going to come through the ceiling.
I need one of those granddad sticks. Shut up!
There is an adult upstairs. They're not just by themselves. I should say that.
just to point that out.
Yeah, we're not just down. We're all down here, and we've left the kids upstairs on their own. So you're going to use a non-porous paper. The other thing you can use is a glossy paper or a poster board or mineral paper. I'm not going to get into technicalities, but you can use those as well. Glossy paper is actually porous, but it does work with alcohol inks.
Glossy paper is porous? Because that's not what you'd think. You'd think a matte paper would be more porous than a glossy
So
paper.
actually, glossy paper is incredibly porous. You can do some really cool things with it. But Yupo paper, mineral paper, poster board, they are non-porous and they work really well with alcohol inks.
Yupo paper is actually plastic, isn't it?
It is. It's an acrylic paper.
See, I know stuff. I've been paying attention.
Occasionally, yeah. Melanie.
Occasionally.
Melanie and Florentina have just joined us as well, as has Carmen, and Annette has joined us, Deborah, Peggy, Janet. Lots and lots and lots and lots of them have joined us. Lots of people asking if they can get aprons like ours as well. The aprons are the bane of my life. I made these aprons for all of our design team, for Creativation, and for Greg as well. And we have really, really struggled to get them made. We are trying to get them made for a special edition Hedgehog Hollow box, but we are struggling to have nice ones made. I've had lots of samples sent to us. No, you can't. And I had lots of samples sent to us. They have like weird edges on them and all sorts of things. So not yet, but we are working on it. We've also tried merchandising companies that Greg's tried, and no one makes aprons.
However, the merchandising which you can see under all of our YouTube videos, you can't get aprons, but you can get t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yes,
so you can't get aprons, but you can get just about everything else.
All right. So you need to clear your space. You just want your Yupo paper.
So why did you put all this crap on it then?
First of all, do not swear. You are live.
That's not a swear word. That doesn't count.
And secondly, I needed somewhere to put it. I'm giving you a piece of press and seal. Now, some people don't like using the press and seal. You do not have to use the press and seal, but the reason I like it is because then I don't have to get my hand sanitizer out or my isopropyl alcohol out and clean up.
Does this make less mess?
This makes less mess.
I'm up for anything that makes less mess.
So, yes.
Sean, do you want to get a better shot? Sorry, you just come over here and get in the way.
So I think it's easier clear up, which
Sorry
is
if me doing a live video is inconvenient for you. I apologise.
So that's why I use press and seal. This is why I don't do videos with Greg every day, because I can't take it. Like my nerves would be frazzled. This is why I use the press and seal, just because it's easier, quicker clear up. If you don't mind clearing it up and whatnot, that's fine. But you'll see why it's just easier. And the next thing you're going to want to do is create your background. And we're going to use alcohol blending solution, not isopropyl alcohol.
What's the difference?
So isopropyl alcohol actually removes pigment from the alcohol ink. Blending solution does what it says on the tin. Yes, Ron Still advert. If you're in England, you'll get that reference. It blends and allows your colors to do it. Now, the reason we put this underneath is, I'll show Greg on here. If I was to just throw a couple of dots of ink down without any kind of blending solution, you see they kind of blend and move, but you don't get a lot of movement. Whereas if I put blending solution down first and do the same thing, like this, I get a different reaction. And I just like the backgrounds I get, particularly because it allows me some more time to add more colors. And then it allows me to get that really cool kind of movement into my piece.
What happens if you squirt this one with the blowy thing?
Well, it's already dry. So the blending solution gives me more time to put more colors down and to get more kind of fun stuff going on.
So the blending literally blends, doesn't it?
It allows you to blend.
So it's not really a right or wrong. It's like this gives you a really complex kind of movement of colors and a mixture of
allows
the
it to
colors,
flow
whereas this
together.
gives you more distinct. So if you wanted to have like fading, like you wanted to have like a yellow on one, like a sunset, you wouldn't use blending solution. You'd want yellow on top and red underneath. If you didn't use the blending solution, it would stay like that. But if you do, it would blend it all together.
So you can do a bit of both.
Should I be doing this too?
Yeah, you just want to throw some color down.
Okay.
And the thing with alcoholics is you can layer, you can do all sorts of fun things. But
red pepper.
Who else? We've got Dawn joining us. We've got Janet's. Lots of people still wanting the aprons. Pam's just joined in. TL Jones has just joined from Illinois as well. Jennifer says she can't wait to try out alcohol ink, so she's looking forward to this video.
Oh, these are fun.
Yeah, alcohol inks are really easy because you literally just throw down some color and you can't really go wrong with it. And you can also kind of take like one of these air blowers. This is a cleaner for a keyboard. I have put links in the video description on YouTube already, so you can check that out. We are live on Facebook too, so if you're on Facebook, just hop on over to the Hedgehog YouTube channel. There's links to everything. I can't put them on Facebook. They give me a limit of how much I can put on there, but
we're on Instagram too.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
you're on
Instagram.
So you can swipe up on Instagram and it'll take you to our YouTube channel and you can get links to everything we're using too. And so you can also put color in color and it does these cool effects on there as well. So you're going for like stripes of color over there, Greg?
Yeah. I'm basically doing it wrong. Oh, I shouldn't have put this on top, should I?
You can.
Oh, can you?
But the only thing is we're going to use lift ink on top. So you want a nice lot of color down because you need to lift some of that color back out again. Marianne's just joined us. Melissa, one of our top fans, has just joined us. Lisa's here. Kim from Kepner's has just joined us.
Oh, hey, Kim.
Lots of people joining in.
Are we going to Kepner's after this? Kepner's is our local pub. It's a really good pub.
I'm just going to... Oh, there's something dangling off of my heat tool. So I'm just going to dry mine a little. So Yupo is heat stable. You can carefully, I'm going to say, heat it. So I'm going to start heat drying mine on here.
Where's the blowy doobie? Can you give me the blowy doobie? Thank you.
That is yours, I suppose. So.
It is mine, yeah.
Yeah, I did steal it. And so one thing you can do is if you're not going to do this alcohol lift technique, you can wait and you can allow these areas here to get tacky and then you can you can apply foil to these areas and get like some really cool foil veins going through
So what do I do now?
piece.
Do I try and dry it?
You are going to want to try and dry it. And I like using the Ranger Heat It tool to dry this as opposed to the Wagner tool. It just gets a bit too hot and heavy with your Yupo paper and it tends to start to crinkle, which is not what we want. So I'm just going to dry mine off here.
It's a really cool effect you get when you keep sort of blobbing and adding
Yeah,
colours
it does,
in.
because they all interact with each other. So alcohol reacts with alcohol, and you just get some really neat effects. So I'm just drying mine off. Obviously, we can't speed this process up because we're live, so it just kind of takes as long as it takes.
I've still got to dry mine as well, haven't I?
Yes. But I'll kind of step ahead a little bit, so.
Should we have thought of this before doing a live on something that takes, like, it's not exactly quick, is it?
Would you like to, like, give some kind of musical interlude, Greg?
No.
Get the banjo out, you know?
Should I ever go with the big hot blowy one?
Yeah, it's under heat, just have to plug it in.
Oh.
Just keep moving it about a lot.
Lack of prep.
Okay, mine's dry.
Ah, okay. So shall I do it with your one?
Yeah, just do
okay,
that one.
so we abandon that idea.
Thanks, Greg. Sorry, I'll put it away. Don't worry, Greg. I'll tidy up after you.
I was actually not worried. I was actually all right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I coped.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, look, you can watch it evaporate.
Yeah, that's what alcohol does when you heat it. In case you didn't know.
Thank you, dear.
Okay, now the reason I like the press and seal is because literally I can just get rid of this. And of course you could create lots and lots of backgrounds, but you just get rid of this piece and there's no clear up. I don't have to get my hand sanitizer out or my alcohol spray or anything. Yes, of course you absolutely can if you want to. And you could reuse this because with press and seal it folds up nice and easily and you can reuse your pieces. So I just like the easy cleanup, but it's totally personal preference.
Does it have to be like completely bone dry?
You want it to be pretty dry, particularly your center, because that's where you're going to stamp. And I'm going to use these new Alex Siberia flowers because I think this will look really pretty on here. And these are out this month's Hedgehog Hollow box, which actually contains a Hedgehog Hollow tote in it. And I did add a link to the Hedgehog Hollow subscription box for this month, which has, I think Greg worked out, over $90 worth of supplies in it.
Was it 90?
I think it's got $90. You've got 2 stamp sets by Alex Siberia, who only normally does digi stamps, but she is doing real stamps this month for us. They're an exclusive. You've got the Hedgehog Hollow tote, 3 packs of alcohol markers, cardstock, and I think we've got less than 50 boxes left. Plus, there's going to be an exclusive special event invite only for box recipients as well. So, lots and lots of things in there as well. So, how are you doing over there?
Yeah, I think it's dry.
You more want to check like these pieces. This isn't dry. Don't roll your eyes at me. I need to get the kitchen roll.
Can I just use your one?
No, you cannot.
Your one looks better than mine.
I like your one.
Do you like mine?
I do like your one.
I like your one. Hey, see we're a match.
Someone says you need your own heat tool.
Yeah. That would be handy. Or it's a big hairdryer. Why can't you just use a hairdryer?
Well, this actually goes a lot hotter than a hairdryer. I mean, you'd burn your head.
It's pretty hot, actually.
It's 400 degrees, I think, that one.
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
I'm just going to ignore you now.
What do you mean now?
So you can use red rubber or photopolymer stamps for this technique. And I'm going to grab a stencil as well.
It will not dry, this like dodgy bit.
All right, you're good then. Just go for it. You'll be fine.
Okay. It's got sticky bits in it.
All right, so you need MISTI.
Oh, I need to get rid of my...
Press and seal.
So I don't need that anymore. So as you said, you can reuse it. So I know what I'm doing.
Do you?
No.
And you want to put it in the corner.
Yep, done that.
You want your stamp.
What's that, the big one?
I'd use the big one. I think it'll come out best. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to use something called alcohol lift ink. So this is a special ink that's going to lift some of this alcohol color out of our Yupo paper. And this is why you have to use Yupo paper for this technique, or mineral paper. You can't use the glossy cardstock because it won't be able to lift the alcohol back out again because it's not porous.
I haven't got any magnets. How are you holding your...
I'm using sticky grid.
I
Just
have
use a
sticky
piece
grid?
of purple tape, which is by your knee. It's in the mermaid tape dispenser. Third one down.
Everyone just talk
Next
amongst
one.
yourself.
There you go, mermaid tape dispenser. Mermaid!
What?
You
You're the one who didn't
like
get
a
my
normal
MISTI
person,
magnets
could
out.
you?
So what do I do? Just stick this down like
Yeah,
that?
and then it's
to
fine.
hold it in place?
Yes. Right, so you're going to ink up your stamp really well because it's a clear ink, so you're not going to know whether it's done it or not. Anyway, it's like that. You want to make sure your stamp is clean because if it has any kind of black archival ink on it, it's going to lift that off the stamp and it's not going to work for the technique. So make sure your stamp is clean. And then you're going to give this a really good press down onto your image. And this is where you're going to have to work reasonably quickly to do the next few steps. So I'm going to have all of my cardstock layers ready. I'm going to steal a couple of Greg's because Greg's not going to do all of his layers. You can actually get around 6 impressions out of yours. Greg's only going to get 1 from his.
How do you know?
Because I'm only going to teach you to do 1. We're going to show them quickly how you can get lots. And I have a video how you can do 6. But what you do is you lift this off, and you can already see how that image has started to lift. And so I'm going to very quickly now take another piece of Yupo, and I'm going to rub this on top.
So I've just put my gluey stuff on there. Do I then stick it down?
Stick it down and give it a really good press. Leave it there 5 to 10 seconds and lift. So I'm going to just take that off of there. And you can see, if I'd left that on there longer, you start to get your second impression. And then what I'm going to do with this...
So is that actually literally sticking that glue, the ink
It's
that we
a
just
lift.
put down, so it's lifting up the ink onto the stamp. And then I'm going to stamp it down onto the paper.
Correct. And then what
See,
you
I know what's
do
going on.
is you pat. You don't want to rub, you want to pat. Because if you rub, you're just going to create a smudge. And you just want to keep patting. Here's some...
Okay, so then I'll take this off.
I would just leave it in there, it's probably easier.
What do I do
Just
now?
keep patting. Just pat all over your image with kitchen towel.
So I'm getting rid of that.
Just leave that for now.
What am I doing?
Pat on your image with kitchen
Oh, so I
towel.
pat my image now?
Yeah,
Why?
because you want to lift all that alcohol ink off. And then what you can do with all the ink that's left on your image here is you can...
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does, because it's creating a negative of your stamp.
I don't know what's going on. Okay.
It's alcohol lifting. You can keep stamping, so you can keep getting these impressions. And when you think that your image is dry, it's not. You take some isopropyl alcohol in your spray bottle and you spray your image.
Mine doesn't look right.
Just keep going.
What am I actually trying to do with this?
Remove the alcohol from the stamped image.
The alcohol. What, the glue?
No, the alcohol ink.
The actual colour?
Yes.
But I haven't stamped anything.
You have. You stamped alcohol lift ink. It's lifting the alcohol ink, so you end up with a white version of that flower.
So
Like
this
that.
bit, this texture in here from the red, that's just because that wasn't dry. So that was just my screw up,
Yes.
was it? Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So you've spritzed your image here with isopropyl alcohol, and then you can start creating a watercolor version of your same flower. And so you can do that a few times. And I do have a video that goes in depth about how you create all...
Who was that? Who's getting a call?
about how you can create up to 6 different backgrounds, and then how I created them into cards using this technique.
What do I do now?
Just wait a second. And Greg could do the same if he wanted to, but you can...
Do what?
I'm just talking in general terms. You can see, you can just get lighter and lighter, and eventually your stamp becomes clean. And you just clean off your stamp with some isopropyl alcohol on your kitchen
That's
roll.
what I want to do. I want to make one of those. So do I get a piece of paper and then stamp that on top of the
piece of
piece of
paper. But you're going to have to do a light spritz of isopropyl alcohol because it's going to have started to dry.
Oh, it's dried on here now.
Yes.
Because I faffed about too long.
Yes.
Okay.
But all you do is take, I like using watercolor paper because it's a bit thicker.
Okay, so I put the water.
So, because your thingy was wet. It's fine, I have lots of watercolor paper. Just make sure that that's going to fit.
No. No.
Greg, I don't need the running commentary. That'll
No.
be fine, because that's going to fit on a card front.
So now I spritz this with the stuff.
Very lightly from above. You're going to mist it.
Miss it or missed it?
Mist it.
Because if I miss it, I kind of wanted to see the point.
There you go. Now stamp. You don't need to CPR it. Tim will tell you off.
It's lame. I don't think I've picked.
Now do it again.
I don't think I've picked up enough of the yellowy stuff.
Well, you did it quite light there, so it's always going to be light.
Okay. The red bit and the pink bit look alright. What I've basically done is, oh, that's better.
There you go. Right.
That's better. That's what I was going for. See, that was part of my design.
There you go.
That was my plan all along, that was.
Something else you can do that's super cool with alcohol lift ink is you can take your ink blending foams and you can take some of the re-inking solution and pop some down on your glass mat and grab...
Can you stop brushing your head? What do I do?
What I was going to show you before you do it, because you might not like it,
okay,
is grab yourself a stencil, whatever stencil you like. I'm just going to do a bit on a corner here. Is pick some up onto your blendy, rub it through like this, and then take your kitchen towel and pat. And of course, when you start to lift up, you get that pattern of the stencil from the alcohol lift.
pretty cool.
So you can alcohol lift through stencils. You're not just limited to your stamps.
Hey, I like that.
So you can add texture.
Can I kind of fix these like dark blobby bits that I've got going on?
So you can pick any stencil you want. Put that back on my ring and you can pick something.
Can you just give me the top one?
Okay.
That'll do.
I'll pick you a new fresh foamy. Yeah. So you just put some...
So what's this? This is
the re-inker for the pad. So if your pad gets dry, you can obviously add fresh ink to re-ink the pad, because I can just see alcohol going over the table.
There's another one.
I know, I was on it. And then you just pick some of that up. You don't want much.
No.
So if you get too much, just like squeeze the excess out.
And then just rub it.
Yeah, I would stick to like round this edge here.
Well, I was trying to clear up that big blob there. But it's probably not going to work.
And then all you want to do is go over it gently first. Don't put too much down. And then go in with your kitchen towel. I'll get you a fresh piece. That's probably enough. And now start, when you daub, and you get a little bit on there, then go to a clean bit of your kitchen towel.
Okay. So you need to keep your towel really clean.
Keep your towel nice and clean. So you can see there.
So this bit where it's still there, do I want to put some more of that stuff on?
You can do, but you might want to kind of more do... I mean, you're never going to get rid of that vein.
Yeah, I'm just trying to soften it so it looks different to the other bits. You can't. Okay.
There you go. And now if you lift that up,
hey.
you see now you've got that texture. So you don't, you're not limited. You can alcohol lift through that. You could do it round masks and then do dyes. Who knows? There's elephants above us. Secretly, we run a zoo here, But yeah, so there's all sorts of things you can do. You're not limited to just using stamps. Everyone thinks, oh, I've got an alcohol lift ink pad and limited to just using my stamps. But you really can do anything. Or if you just want to do partial of your stamp and then stamp the rest of it, you could just apply a little bit of the ink using your dauber to that section that you want to lift, and then just do maybe some embossing on another part, and then do some inking on another part. I mean, there's just so many different things you can do with the alcohol lift ink and applying it on your ink blenders as well. So lots and lots of different
millions of colours, don't
I
they?
have a whole thing. The only thing I'm going to preface is it doesn't work with alcohol pearls. The mica pigment they put in the alcohol pearls, like the ones they released at Creativation this year, the metallic-y ones that I've got, like these. The ones that you can use on black that are all shimmery. So these are alcohol pearls. These were released at Creativation this year. We can use them on black cardstock.
Oh,
like the ones with the mica.
So mica is that shimmery stuff.
The mica is the shimmery
metallic,
stuff.
but not quite.
So if you use the alcohol pearls, alcohol lift ink does not work on them. And that's because of the chemical reaction with the mica.
Oh, okay.
So it only works on your regular alcohol inks. I honestly think it works best with the Ranger. I've tried with the Bria Reese and the others. I don't get the same reaction. And it is, I guess, because it's a Ranger product, it's obviously optimized to work with Ranger.
That works out to work
but it does not work with your alcohol ink pearls. You can use your alcohol ink pearls in here, but just know that that area is not going to lift in the same way as, say, your regular alcohol areas. So if you use your pearls in it, maybe just do your pearls in one area, but know you're going to have to stamp the image over the top or do something a little bit different. It's homework time. We'll just leave them be. They're fine. So yeah, so just a couple of things we have to preface in there that it doesn't work with. As I say, if you're going to use the alcohol ink cardstock, it doesn't work with that. It's not going to work on the black cardstock because you can't use the pearls, but it will work on your Yupo. It does work on mineral, but not quite as well. Yupo is the optimal surface. You can use your translucent Yupo, you can use your regular Yupo, and any of your Yupo papers works. I've tried the Legion, the Ranger, all of those. It works really, really well on those.
I think the crucial thing to get across as well is make sure you dry it properly.
Yeah.
I think that's where I went wrong. That's where I've got these blobs in it. It's just where it hasn't dried and I've gone in with my finger and then put my finger in it.
So somebody asked me what paper did I use with the pearls on this. This is the Ranger black alcohol ink cardstock that they sell. And if you are a Hedgehog Hollow Perks member, you can get 15% off at Ranger every single day. So if you hit that join button below, or I've added it in the description on Facebook and YouTube, if you're on Instagram, swipe up to go to the channel and hit the join button. Then you can get 15% off at Ranger and all of your purchases. So I just bought the new oxide sprays and I used our Hedgehog Hollow coupon on it and I saved myself 15% on my new set of sprays. Plus I got the new oxide spray tin to store them in for free. So that was well worth it, and free shipping on them. So there was this cardstock they launched. They also launched a silvery glittery cardstock. And they launched another alcoholic cardstock at Creativation. I can't remember what it was. There was a third one, another shimmery cardstock that they launched. But yeah, super, super cool that they launched there. So I think that was everybody's questions. So yeah, don't forget to join our Hedgehog Hollow community. It's a really cool community. There's tons of money-saving coupons in there. It really helps support us. It means that Greg can come and do videos occasionally.
It does, that's true. But yeah, we've got loads of coupon codes in there now, haven't we?
Yeah, Thermoweb, Ellen Hudson,
Tonic.
Tonic's in there, Sunny Studios, Pink and Main.
Didn't Tonic do like a 20% off one with us recently?
Yeah, we do. They do special payday codes, extra ones in there. So all sorts of fun things. You get Hedgehog Hollow codes. You can save 10% on the Hedgehog Hollow kit. Lots and lots of fun things going on in there too. So lots of reasons to join the Perks program and be part of the community. Send out birthday cards. You know all those cards we make on the channel? We send them all out to our Perks members every single month. We never actually keep a card. We send them all out. You never know, you might actually get one that Greg makes too.
If you're unlucky. If you're lucky, you'll get a nice one.
So there's that. So hit that join button. We'd love to have you. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications of our daily videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, or maybe something a little different. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that thumbs up button and follow the page. We have lots of giveaways and fun things going on. And if you're on Instagram, hit that follow button, like, hearts, you know, all of those fun things as well. And we'd love... Oh yeah, above, below, beside.
Buttons above. Depending on what you're watching this on, they're all over the place.
Yeah, we never know where you could be watching and what you could be seeing. So we are off to have our Friday afternoon. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We've got lots of things coming up this weekend as well. Lots more videos. We've got more infusible ink videos on the way, more ideas, and also how you can make infusible ink turn glittery on all of your projects, plus how you can put it on non-polyester. So lots and lots of tips coming your way. Be sure to join in and tune in. We can't wait to see you. We'll see you all again soon. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye. Bye.